Be recording? I don't know. I can't see shit on this thing. It's so damn small.
You're short. Kind of keep it at a belly shot. Nobody knows what you're doing at this point. Just kind of keep it nice and low.
Okay.
These people are going to want footage, as are you. Hopefully if we capture something in here, we're going to miss it.
Okay.
We got you. I know. Being a videographer, you're supposed to be helping her listen in on that too. So, in case you guys actually miss something, it'll actually show up on the audio there. Have you heard anything on there yet?
It's mostly static. I thought I heard Abby, and then I heard a man's voice.
Okay.
Then I heard a little riff of music, and then it's just mostly just static again with
Stuff like that.
unintelligible words. But she's getting a lot of music, and she got one lyric that said,
I can barely hear it.
She got one lyric that said, "You don't want to know."
I don't know, or I don't want to know.
I don't want
I
to
don't want to know. Okay. So it's normally not about the gender. So you told me you heard a male voice. Until I can discern
I heard
that.
both.
But again, that doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
It could be Eliza telling me something about her age, and it comes from a man's voice.
Because it was all unintelligible.
I got you. Let's give you a little bit more volume, and maybe that'll actually push you a little bit more
Well played.
stuff
Well
coming
played.
through.
Yeah.
Try that on that a little bit, just to kind of give you a little bit more girth to it. Okay. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more. So have you heard anything other than
I just
that?
heard in a relationship.
In a relationship. So now we're kind of getting a little bit of the phrases that you guys are seeing.
I'm hearing a lot over this way. Does she should be pointing the camera this way?
Either way, again, nice little movements out of her. That's really what we're looking for. So when I spot check it, I'm basically watching every couple of minutes and see for about a minute or two, and then I move on.
That lives in the suburbs.
I thought you heard the name Abby earlier too.
Thought I heard the word Abby, which is funny because I'm working with Abby. And then it was weird because I thought I heard Lynn.
What was it?
Lynn. Believe it or not. I don't know.
I asked about the company.
Sort of.
Said,
Thought it was Lynn. It could have been something else.
What company did you ask? You didn't have a company.
So I'm getting a lot over here. Come with me. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing.
I don't either.
What happened to the mansion, please?
I'm gonna put that bug stuff on. Can you hold this while I get the bug thing out?
All that.
did the mansion burn down? Alright, gotta go back.
Going wide, though.
Alright, so
Turn it off.
anything else coming out of your ears? Right?
Just what you're hearing is very intelligible, but every once in a while it's like a voice. It's muffled.
I will tell you that last night we caught two specific terms on there, and I was really surprised because we caught them with the camera. They thought they heard something specific in here, and until I listened to the camera, it's the only way I was able to verify it.
Please.
And the way that it
I
actually
just heard
came
please.
So it was actually the name Charles that came through, loud and clear, but it wasn't a radio station. Like it wasn't like a, hey, my name is Charles so-and-so. It was Charles. It was like very deep and distinct. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, a couple of things we actually have going on here.
Should I mute it now while you're
Yes,
talking?
please.
Thank you.
So the
Turn this
major
off?
thing, first off,
Yeah,
these groups will come by and they'll be staring at you just so you know you're all the weirdos. That's kind of how this works. Yeah, I know, right? So this is where the duels used to occur for at least some of them for the city of Charleston. So just let me know when this group starts to come up behind me. So we all tell that same story of the same duel, so let's kind of get into it. So there's a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. For those of you with Spirit Box is still listening and not listening to me, if you hear the song lyrics of Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name, and we get it here all the time, just so you guys have that idea. By the way, so Lola, you're going to be looking for the initials RI because of Rhode Island, and it's going to make more sense once I get a little bit further.
Should I turn it up? Or
Yeah, so you want to crank up. Crank it up here and let this pass through. There you go. Oh, you're good. Excuse us. I don't like staying up here at this top end. We're going to get interrupted 1,000 times. But at any rate, so there, and they live here.
Like a vault.
All right, we're going to move down. That way we're not on the edge. Nice and cool tonight, right?
And ghosts down there.
Alright guys, let's circle up. Let's get back to our doctor. Alright, so, by the way, I'm not going to be able to take you all the way through this alley. I have been kicked out of here. We're going to talk about that because it's actually the funny part of our entire, adventure down here. But back to our doctor friend. He comes down here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to... This one's the one on the left. You have the second one. Yeah, but the one in the middle was also on. We don't want that one because it's temperature gauge, so any kind of breeze goes by, it makes it go on.
Okay.
Alright, so he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. So, she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash that she just got, and the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. What did you say?
7,300.
No, but remind me to write down 73. I don't know what it means, but I'll find out. It's a very specific number.
Yeah,
so.
weird.
But anyway, Dr. Ladd moves to Charleston to prove that he's not just after Amanda's money. He's going to start his practice down here and make his own. So as he's coming into town, a coachman brought him in and set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to this day in Charleston. Somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen. His name is Ralph Isaacs. I'm going to stop there because of Lola's device. It's exactly why we have it. Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. So again, the letters RI were showing up on regular spirit boxes all the time. I bought the Ouija board device to see if we were going to actually get those specific letters, and we have. So in the past 6 months, I can count on one hand how many times it's actually occurred when I'm giving Ralph's part of the history. So, is everything okay over there, Tammy? I know you kind of jumped on the phone real quick. Is everything all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Someone lost a wallet earlier and has been found.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure everything was okay and it wasn't a person you guys needed to rush out for.
Nope.
So back to Dr. Ladd. Him and Ralph told Ralph tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from those friends of mine and you'll be safe and good to go. The doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. His medical practice is taking off. He's proving his point that he's not just after Amanda's money. So Dr. Ladd becomes known as the whistling doctor because Amanda's moving down and they're going to get married. So she got wind that he's making more money. So she's good to go. I will tell you that every haunted city you're ever going to visit in the future has a cliched whistling ghost, as do we. We actually, ours just happens to be a doctor. I'm just going to point that out. But at any rate, back to Ralph and the Dr. Ladd. They go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats than Ralph. So they talk about these plays on the way home. And one night they go see Richard III from Shakespeare, and they're arguing over the new actress that actually was in town. The doctor thought she was great. Ralph did not. So they start arguing, but then Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It gets very ugly. They go their separate ways. Ralph has friends around town. He goes to his friends at the newspaper and tells them to put an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society, slap with a glove, right? So the doctor saw the ad, but rebuttal blip, let's just go to Dueler's Alley. Let's settle this once and for all. So they came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight, which is often what happens at a duel for those of you that have seen Hamilton. But at any rate, Ralph has his one bullet. He actually puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doctor doesn't die, but he falls to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later after refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. So when you said 73, I'm like, hang on a minute, let me do the quick math. So yeah, 1786 was the year that he passed away. He refused medical treatment because you have to remember that this guy's a doctor, and gunshot wounds in 1786 were a lot different than what we know now. So he probably just tried to bleed out the blood wound himself from the lead poisoning. So every ghost tour, including the two that we've already seen down here, will tell their guests to stop and listen for the whistles. Why I told the video cameras to go ahead and get those things up and running is I also have a voice recorder on. Their cameras are also recording audio. If the whistle will be there, it's going to be on there. You don't have to listen intently for it. If you're going to try to do this on your own and go through to the end of the alley, turn on your voice recorders from your phones and listen to it later. See if you have it in the background. What I will tell you is I can't take you all the way through here. And by the way, if you're listening to it, I want you to keep in mind that every local knows this story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I do it every single night when I'm done with your guys' data. So anyway, we're going to let these folks pass through, and then I'm going to tell you how I got booted out of here, because that's the fun part. Amy can't wait for it. She's over there giggling already.
Or a rat.
I got R.I.
Yeah.
I got
Rat.
3 eyes.
Is it R.I. next to each other? Love it. So, do you have any words that showed up? No? Alright, so here's how I got booted out. I usually wait for people to pass through just in case they're the neighbors. Because they're the ones that booted me out. Alright. Alright, so this alley didn't always go all the way through this way. So, right about where Jay was taking his phone call, there used to be a wall right there. The reason why is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. They had to block them in. This used to be called Cow Alley. You get the word cow down here a lot, believe it or not, on your spirit boxes. But anyway, that means the bricks on the other side of the alley, all the way down by Queen Street, are older than the bricks we're standing on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there, along with fingerprint swipes on the other side. What I will tell you is I used to take my groups all the way through here, and I would show it off simply because we all need to see how far we've come away from slavery here in the South. This is what we do. So, one night, November 26th of 2020, I took my group all the way to the end. They're all huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen. I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. If that kid's not there, that's the last place you're going to find him. However, I'm trying to shoot him along because it's also outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I was just trying to be respectful to the house there, but I didn't know I was out of bounds. The new neighbor came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at on the tour at work. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work on Thanksgiving simply because I worked in retail management, upper management for Walmart for a good part of 20 years. You can all see why I'll never work another Thanksgiving in my entire life. The next day was Black Friday. So, called my partner up that I had at the time. I told him what happened the day before Thanksgiving. And he said, you can't go down that way. We're going to let them pass through. Hi, folks. Again.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Isn't there much more than beforehand? So he says you can't go down that far, dude. You can only go down halfway, or you got to reroute your route. So I was like, all right. So I decided my team that night we are going to reroute. What I did tell them is I did not believe in the next story because I've never had anything occur there with any of my devices in the past. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. If you haven't picked up on we're going to be discussing pirates next, now you know. So before we left, somebody with a spirit box, here's the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them who we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny.
I just heard a pirate jig before.
A pirate
big
jig.
guy with
a
the
little
blue
sea shanty.
shirt. Yeah.
So, with that said, we get up there. I told them a little bit I did know about piracy at the time, because again, I only had one day to do some quick research, and tickets were much cheaper back then when I can actually wing it. And somebody else heard the number 300 on a spirit box. I didn't know what it meant. I wrote it down. I do the research the next morning. It turns out we are there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We are there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial.
Wow.
Some of you are standing there with the wows and the jaw drops. I was actually pissed off. Here's why. I have a master's degree in creative writing. I need things to actually make sense. Pirate stories are based from pirate lore. That's a big problem for me because that's stacks and stacks of books that I have to read to be able to validate everything we're about to discuss at the next location. Again, it's been almost 4 years since that actually occurred, so we are obviously have a lot of knowledge behind this, but everything we're going to discuss came from a minimum of 2 resources, just so you guys know. Also, remember, we're going to get bleed over from this Philadelphia alley story that I just told you. The gate behind me before we leave, because you guys really turned into a super quiet group once I started talking history, by the way. The gate behind me is when there was a loser to the duel. I want you to remember that the alley didn't go all the way through this way to get over to the cemetery. It created this gateway to get to the cemetery just on the other side of the wall. Otherwise, they'd have to go all the way down to the end to Queen Street and double back to go drop the dead body off. So again, I call this the Death Gate. The wrought iron was probably put there in the early 1900s based on the ironwork of it, but the archway you can see is definitely part of the original wall. So, the next place is obviously going to be about rated R pirates, and if nobody got that crazy pun, wow, you guys, nobody got that joke. All blank faces from you guys. Olivia got it. Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute. I dropped something here. You were by this stone that had a brick that had a pond, and somebody came out and yelled at you. Why did they yell at you? I didn't
Because I
understand.
was out of bounds.
You were out
not
of
allowed over there.
bounds. Oh.
Behind the house.
So,
Private
in
house,
essence,
residence.
so Jennifer, to clarify, there's only certain places I'm allowed to take you because there's a lot of residents in the area.
Oh.
They don't want large groups outside their
I
homes.
see. Okay.
So,
Thank
all right,
you.
we ready to learn about these
Significance.
crazy rated R pirates? Do we have something else going on? Are we switching devices up? Are we switching things up? Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were switching things up. All right, definitely get you unmuted along the way. Video cameras, if you want to continue recording until we get to the next space, by all means do so. Completely up to you, but we're going to stay out of the other tour's way when we get up and around the corner. Have you heard anything since we've been here?
Earlier I heard doctor, work, and friends when you're talking about...
Doctor, work, and friends. I like it. Anybody else hear anything? Okay. See, you're the star of the show right now. Check you out. All right.
Yay,
I know, right? So definitely get yours unmuted. Let's go talk about some rated R pirates. You getting a toss along with pictures, by the way?
Yep.
Good. Huh?
I'll say this one's not that. Wait, is this one?
So that's her vein.
there's Fort Island, but not Rhode Island. They have an island.
There you go. The lights are on. Yep.
Oh, thanks.
Anybody else need other ones?
I don't know.
So, the guy confirmed
Maybe don't pick up the picture.
So there is, she actually was afraid of her. Yeah, so it was on the way here, as we get closer to St. Philip's Church, we usually get a lot of either religious terms or, kind of spelling music type coming up. What was our last 3 words that came up?
Gallery, urban, and kinky.
Kinky? Yeah, sounds a lot like Tiffany, doesn't it? Yeah, very interesting. Charles, by the way, the husband is very hard to reference for you, so we'll get an introduction every once in a while, so that might actually find out if something else pops up around here, but I won't expect out of it. So EMF detectors, here's the weird thing about this space. Once we spread out and kind of cover the area, you'll notice the start, we're going to start carefully, which is obviously out of the way when they're moving. But EMF, we have two electrical poles in the corners, so when you get up there, don't get too excited. And also the parking meters on the other side of those bushes will kind of make it go off up to 3 to 5. Normally on the back half is where I get excited about the EMF detectors. So kind of keep, and this is every ghost force stops here too. We're going to discuss a little building a little bit different than they are. So that is the gunpowder magazine behind you. That's what the cross is up there on there. By the way, those are not crosses, those are earthquake bolts. If you're not from here and you don't know what an earthquake bolt is, it's a turnbuckle. It goes all the way through the roof. So if we have another earthquake, like what I talked about earlier, you can turn the turnbuckles and it's supposed to tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. So it's a great idea, it just doesn't work. The only reason I bring those up is because it's part of the reason why we're here. Those earthquake bolts that you're looking at are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. For those of you that watch TV shows, you've seen that little Boo Buddy teddy bear contraption that they use to try to attract the child ghost. It's the same thing, simply because that teddy bear is familiar to the child ghost because it's a toy. This is familiar to Anne Bonny because it was being constructed at the same time as when she came here from Ireland. So we're here because this is a familiar. So the building, first off, you need to know it took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? Not at all, for all of you adults here. But anyway, kind of follow me. There's a few twists in this story. I will slow down on the twist, make sure you guys grab them. In 1708, right in the middle of the construction of this, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? Okay, the three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was she that they had to leave the country and come here by boat? Just pointing that out. Dad bought a plantation in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach, and then Mom dies pretty quickly. They send a young Anne at this point down here to Charleston to selling things from the plantation to help keep things afloat. That's why we're here. That's the building. Now, Anne back home in Ireland was said to be a badass even back then. They say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly when Anne was only 7, 8, 9 years old. Remember, it's pirate lore, nothing's ever going to be exact. So, we have got the term servant's knife and belly from 3 different devices without the other 2 people knowing what was going on. So you have that idea. Fast forward, the building finished in 1713. Pirates start to come through town in 1715. Anne is pretty stoked. Here's why. First guy she's going to fall in love with is so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. And I say first guy because there's a handful, and that's what makes the story interesting, and we're going to cover them all. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? You know her pirate name. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormac is now Anne Bonny, famous female pirate. However, her new husband, James Bonny, is not Captain Jack Sparrow, as what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a coward. He's a spy for the British. So she falls in love again 3 years later. Guy number 2. This is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case some of you were wondering who this guy actually is. He has his own ship, he has his own crew, and wants to be part of that crew, but can't put a girl on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why? What's that? It is that one. Thank you for keeping it family friendly. I got a lot of raunchy answers to that question. But anyway, he makes a deal with her. If you're going to dress like a guy, you can put like crew, you can be part of it, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this. The reason why is because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. So she gets it. It's a man's world, but now she's a pirate. Most of us are adults here. Let's put 2 and 2 together. She's a female in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and then they're going to go jack off the ship with captain. So he drops her off in Cuba. We'll have a baby, come back later, we'll figure it out when you get back. She goes and has that child, but returns without a baby. We have no idea what happens to that child. So none of my research, by the way, my stats and stats of pirate books, I've never found it, so you know. But she comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty angry. Now everybody's going to know that he let a girl on the ship. While she was gone giving birth, he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. She's going to go flirting to make him even more mad, because that's who Anne is. We're on guy number 3, in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female. She's dressed like a guy. She's part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females dressed like males on the same ship, trying to be pirates. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. Not going to really ever know for sure, but the British found out where they are. They sent a fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. Rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up with their 1 bullet flintlocks to fight back. Probably because they didn't know how to use cannons yet. They haven't been pirates for very long. Obviously, 2 ladies with flintlocks are not going to work out against the whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her captain, Calico Jack, and she says, "I'm so sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up a lot on the spirit boxes. The judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back valiantly on their own. He's already tried to call Calico Jack and they run the pirates, but they're dead fine. 2 ladies go on front, reveal their gender. The judge does not give a shit. They're female. They're still pirates. Still gonna hang them. We plead our bellies, was what they shouted back to him, because you cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail in the lake to Annie. Dad still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne, brings her back home. She's married. That's husband number 2. Guy number 4. We're gonna count Mary. You don't really know. She has 4 kids. Dies at the age of 84. Yes, Mary, and it's very abrupt with Anne, just simply because we don't know much about her after her pirate career. Mary Reed dies 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in Jamaican jail. Most folks will tell you that it was something simple like fever. I'm going to say it's pirates. Let's make it romantic and call it scurvy. Why the hell not? But anyway, a few things I left out of here. I'm not going to assign questions, but I will tell you what I left out of the piece of history so you can actually have something to work with all the communication devices. The largest orb, by the way, Jennifer, I've ever caught with that thing, intelligent, has been by that wall with that camera. And when I say orb, it was intelligent. It appeared in screen, came towards my head, turned, and then went above me and disappeared in the frame. So, it's giant. So, not to say that that's going to happen tonight. I'm just telling you that things can occur in this location. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents on purpose. That's the father and the mistress. I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship, the city where Anne grew up in Ireland, and the color of her hair, which I'll give you is the color red, because that's the reason why. Make sure you throw that one out there for those of you that are struggling with spirit box work. Give you a 1-syllable answer to look for. As far as the Ouija board device goes, Miss Lola, by the way, I screwed up anybody's name terribly, by the way. I got it all down pretty good. Alright, so Lola with yours, obviously ask questions about her hair color, but simple answers, RAD is a big one. There also the initials AD for Anne Bonny or MR for Mary Reed. But keep in mind, you guys can also get clues about the doctor as well over here. We already had doctor work and friend while we were in the location. I forget where that came from, but I did know that it actually came out of the spirit box. But yeah, we're going to get these things unmuted, get these video cameras running, and then we're going to see what happens. Stay out of the way of the other tours, and you guys already know the rules about vehicles, so let's have some fun. Let's do this. That was super quiet. I was expecting a rowdy group tonight, Tammy. What'd you do? Did I calm them down too quickly? I know history's going to be long and dry. The Ivy Wall, just so you guys know, that camera is not your friend. All loose is running out.
color is your hair?
I'm done. Just want to take a shower.
I heard the word child.
How long does this last?
There are a lot of shadow here, but I can't make it out.
You quieted down quite a bit there, Miss Jennifer.
I think she's frustrated because she's not.
No, I'm just.
Is it like a woman screaming or something?
Ghost hunting is not always black and white. Ghosts are not going to just jump out and say boo.
I'm not expecting anything like that. Trust me.
I just can't make out what's
Yeah, it's very quick.
I'm getting a lot right here.
It's just weird. Because you're like finding like, spots where it's picking up more. might be. But there's also another story around here. There's like 15 stories around here that deals with a child. So we had a lot of clues to that last night. So the fact that you're telling me that, not knowing what that piece is, I think you may have someone been influenced. It could be relative to something else going on for us to get inside. Abby, and then maybe your own. Charleston? But I disregard the Charleston.
I get a lot of moaning. Almost sounded like a
Okay.
earlier. That's getting out.
Like
We're
singing.
walking to the out.
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly too tall, but
Yeah.
a woman going up like that. Before we got there, we said that I thought
Maybe an animal
there's a
sound.
big call.
Gotcha. I like it. It's a stretch, but I like it. I like where your mind's going.
But I can't think of so much of it. It's so quick. And how I hear it's over.
Normally when I get called to another team, this is usually what they want me to do is scare them off because of what I'm able to do. Because I probably have the experience when it comes to listening to these kind of devices, because I listen to them literally every day. So when I get called to another team, like I gotta take my own gear, headsets, the whole 9 yards, to make sure like everything is legit, and I don't want to lose. So that way, whatever I'm giving back to is legit. Yeah. And then I said the live sound.
He's the one who can tell the different privacy. Now I'm fucking way behind.
And from behind. Did you record it?
Nope, of course he didn't record it. Dude, he was literally just going in like
I was
girls are like, oh my god.
Record that stuff, man. Alright, so, in essence, I'm going to hand you guys some gear that you're not going to put on until we come back. So, what's going to happen is you guys start putting on blindfolds and head gear and we walk away. It never looks good when I'm blindfolded people in the middle of the park. So, don't put anything on until we come back. So, Claire, this is a single-use blindfold, so if you want to figure that out, you can. I'll help you when we come back. And then I'll leave your guys with headphones over here too. You two are going to become besties for 5 minutes while I can teach everybody else the history.
I put these on over the
You will when I come back. So when I come back, I'm going to have to give you a few tips and tricks of what to expect. Because this can be disorienting. So Jennifer's going to be super important because she's going to have the clearest shot of the entire thing. So she's going to be the one filming and she's going to be standing next to me once we get this thing rolling. So I'm going to take them over by that statue for about 5 minutes and teach them the history, and then we're going to come back and I'll show you how to put all this stuff on and tell you what to expect. Is that fair?
You're gonna take away all of my senses.
Yep, you got it. And then, Claire, you're not getting... No, not Claire. Olivia, you're not getting my phone until we come back.
Okay.
So that way you don't see all the dirty messages my wife sends me. You guys ready to learn some history? Let's go.
Haunting. Absolutely haunting. The most haunting thing is a fire tour. Yeah.
Well, no, because I do that too, but it's like when most people would burp, yeah, that's what happens. So she does think of.
So have you guys seen like how artificial intelligence actually creates images before? Have you guys played with this yet? No. Alright, I'll do a quick little demo just so you guys know like what Olivia's going to be going through over there. But I'm just going to do things based on what's around us, so that way you can kind of show you a legitimate thing what we got going on. Create a fantasy picture of a willow tree with a church behind it and 11 people standing around it. Like, obviously.
Oh, I have something like that. Photo leap.
Yeah.
There's AI.
Exactly. Yeah. Photo Leap just jumped on the AI wagon. Oh, this is actually recording everything I just said, so I'm going to stop that and I'm going to start it over again. Create a cartoon picture of a willow tree with a church behind it and 11 people standing around the tree. Okay, so now that it has all of that, it'll say, okay, I'll try to create that, and then it's going to give me 4 options of things that I can choose. I use this a lot for like social media marketing and things like that, so that way it's all original pictures. But you guys get the gist of what's going to happen around there. Just like how I talked into the phone, it's going to be using the environment around my phone as a magnifying and so on to really create these images. You're going to see that might not make any sense, but you can see like how it created 4 different images with 11 people standing around the willow tree and possibly a church in the background. I think I forgot to say the church part. So again, what I'll be able to do is choose one, and then if I throw my stories in a cemetery stamp on it, I now own that picture. So again, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Oh, is there a church in the background?
A tiny one.
A little tiny one, right? Can't see.
No, I have vision issues. I can't see
Oh,
small
fair
things.
enough. Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? Sweetheart, I would have got you something totally different. It's not okay.
I keep my mouth shut.
I've been wondering why you've been bummed out all night.
No,
Now I
haven't
know
been
why.
bummed out.
Ah, okay. Anyway, so quick history here. Again, don't know much about this guy. I know enough to be able to get us started, and hopefully we're going to get answers out of Claire over there once we get there. So first time I came here, I only had 2 people because it was cold that night. Every November, right after Halloween, is when I start looking for a new space. I brought my 2 people in here. The person with the spirit box was in year 1828, and the name Henry. I was using the digital word list, and I had the name Tim. Behind me is a bust of Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So I went, well, hot damn, there's my ghost. Exactly, right? So, started doing a little bit of research because I knew I heard this story before. Things you need to know about this guy: he was a writer, a poet, and being born in 1828, he was sick through most of his life, but wanted to go fight for the Civil War on the Confederate side. So, he goes to fight for the war, and his comrades realized he's too sick to fight. They sent him home, and they said, go be the voice of the war. They knew he was a poet. They wanted him to tell everybody what was going on in the battlefield. So he did. The poetry gives him the title, the Laureate of the Confederacy. So for us writers, that's a pretty prestigious title, in case you were wondering. But anyway, 2 years go by and he has a son. That son's name is Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve and he dies 9 months later. Very tragic death, obviously for him and his wife Katie. So a couple more years go by and his college friend realizes he's not writing as much as he was and not publishing it in the newspaper. So he says, go to my cottage out in Columbia, the middle of the state. You can use it out there to be in peace and finish what you're supposed to be working on. And he writes his last words. His last words are, beholder of brief mortality, person of short life, quote unquote. So then he coughs and it lands on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. Then he dies right on the page. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the blood stain. It looks like a man writing at his desk. We show this book 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society. It's called The Blood Book. You have to be a member of the society to be able to see it in real time, but the internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you the page, and then we're going to go talk to Claire as if she is Henry Timrod. So, hopefully they're not over there putting on all the gear, and that's why you guys are like chuckling over here. I see Tammy like, what the hell's they doing? So, this is the blood. You can see where the blood stain is. Yeah. Looks just like a man writing at his desk. For me, this page tells his whole story. Person of short life, coughs, lands on the page, dies, and looks like a man writing at his desk. So I'll go over it.
You can almost break it.
See how the blood stain looks like a man? It's vague, but it's there. Don't deny that it's there, Jennifer. She's like, yeah, I don't see it. All right. Anything crazy going on?
Where?
You got GW on there?
GW?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I thought I heard you say GW. I got excited. You're in George Washington Park. That's the only reason why I said GW. Are we ready to go blindfold these folks and see how this is going to go? Yeah, I thought you guys were going
You're
to.
not supposed to be recording.
You will be the entire time over here. You're actually going to stay pretty close to me, so that way they have the footage later.
Dude, this is kind of heavy.
We got Jay?
It's not going to go all the way right to the head.
I was like, it looks like it's gonna break. It's because it's supposed to.
Alright, so here's what's going to happen. So we are all going to huddle around you pretty close, so that way the other tours aren't seeing what we're doing. So obviously those 3 on the ground are not going to work out very well. Yeah, exactly. So Miss Jennifer is going to be filming the entire time, so you guys have all this footage later on, and that way you can watch it. You're not going to know the history until you guys get this video back. Here's what I'm going to tell you specifically, Claire. You can answer everything that you're hearing in real time. Remember to speak. So, Jeremy, you're going to have to be pretty close.
Why are you laughing at me?
You're going to have to stay pretty close, Jeremy, because there's going to be two signals you need to know. When we're tapping you out, he's going to tap you on the leg. That means we're done. If he's tapping you on the shoulder, you're too loud. Tone it down.
Oh.
Yeah, remember, we can hear you. So again, most people put those earbuds in and they start screaming. So you're obviously going to be able to hear us, so we'll just tell you when we're done. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on both of your breathing just to make sure like everybody's okay. I have had to pull people out of this in the past from hyperventilation. It can be a little oversensitive for some people. So if that happens, you'll get the tap on the leg, and Olivia obviously will just say you need to take that headset off. So if I feel like if anything's going awry. You can also answer in yes/no answers. You have no idea what I'm asking. So if you hear a yes/no, tell us in real time. Remember to talk. A lot of people put those earbuds in and they forget to tell us what they're hearing. They think they're going to be, that kind of thing. I'm only going to keep you under for 10 minutes. Any more than that, you get a little more disoriented than what I'm comfortable with. So 10 minutes will be the cutoff time. I'm going to set up your phone so that way you can actually see what's going on here. I kind of gave them a basic gist of how this device actually works. So you're going to do blindfold first, then the earbuds, and you're not going to touch your spirit box once you get it to a comfortable volume. I want to make sure you're not cheating and hearing my questions, if that makes sense. So go ahead and put your blindfold on, then earbuds. She's already broken the rules already. She put the earbuds on underneath.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to take them out.
You're okay. Whatever you're comfortable with. I just try to make it comfortable for you. So once this gets set up, I'll slide it into the headset, and then you'll put that over top of your head. Everything's been sanitized. If you can.
Okay. I don't know if I can or not. We'll see.
Dad, you might actually have to help out with that.
Possibly. I don't know.
Again, most of the time family members have to help out.
Let me hold it.
I was gonna say she's gone. She should
Independent.
So Claire, can you hear us? Claire, can you hear us? Perfect. Your adjustments, if you need to make any adjustments, there's a little dial right here for this way, and then underneath there's two little thumb pieces to move it forward and backward underneath.
Okay.
All right, so I will also not be hand writing anything down, so that way I can stay focused on their breathing and making sure everybody's okay and safe. So
This stays off, right?
yes, please. The other two pieces, Lola, you're going to be keeping an eye on both of yours, because a lot of times if they're not saying the answers, it's going to show up on another spirit box and or the word list. Okay, Henry Timrod, I'm going to need you to push through, and these two young ladies can see what you want us to see and hear what you want us to hear. I'm going to ask you what your occupation is. If you want to tell us your occupation, please.
Craven?
Henry Timrod, tell us what your occupation is. Right, so that's the time. 10:42.
Rhode Island?
Do I have somebody else here besides Henry Timrod?
Wake up?
I need to know if somebody else is here besides Henry Timrod. That's a yes/no answer.
Become affected?
Olivia, whenever you start seeing something, just describe it to
Yeah,
us.
it's just like fog.
Yeah, you're going to see all that smokiness. I did that so you guys don't fall asleep in there. America. Henry Timrod, I need you to push through and tell us maybe something about where we are. Maybe who it's named after, the type of landmark that we're in.
Vineyard.
It's not a vineyard. Can you tell us what sound we're hearing right now from the church? That'll prove to us that
243.
That'll prove to us that you're actually here with us. Can you tell us what sound we're hearing? We've had the word bells show up on both of your devices.
Appetite.
Particularly
Hardworking.
the Ouija board device has spelled out the word bells when those have gone off, just so everybody knows. Henry, I need you to push through and tell me if somebody else is here with you. Jeremy, just be mindful of all the other people around you, or it might be weirded out by you facing it that way. Henry Timrod, we can see what you want us to see. Okay, who is here? Give us your name.
United Faith.
I need to know who is here, so I know which type of questions to ask. We're not looking for parlor tricks. We're being respectful.
Nice guy.
Who's the nice guy?
Falling.
Who's the nice guy? Am I the nice guy? Spirit boxes, are you guys listening in too? Yeah, definitely listening. Henry, I'll need you to push through. Do you want to talk about one of your family members? Perhaps your son or your wife?
If I told you.
What do you want to tell me? We talked about your wife before. We had a nice long conversation where I
It's
learned.
a lady in a window.
Lady in a window. So we want
It's
to talk.
like that.
Can you tell me your wife's name? Who's in the picture? Tell me who's in the picture, Henry.
Karma.
Very interesting how that comes up. Is it not, Olivia?
Decision. Yeah.
Henry, can you tell me who's in the picture? Who's in the window?
Gave them.
Henry Timrod, push through and
Agents.
tell me who's in the window. What's in the picture we just saw?
Grass.
It's all pretty vague stuff, huh? Do I have somebody else here besides Henry Timrod? Olivia is focused. Y'all see she's got the hand grip.
Light.
Henry, is somebody else here with you? Can you tell me how many people are here with you?
I've told you.
It's usually the number 5, just so you know. We get that quite often. You're getting the trees over there, just so you know. All those leaves are trying to turn into a person.
Offering.
Henry, how many people are here? Tell us again.
What does that say?
Henry.
Road.
Word road again. Henry. How many people are here with you?
They know.
Who knows?
Open till midnight.
We're not staying here till midnight. Whoever's here, give me something specific
Attack.
about you.
Summer. Reason we don't.
You need to give me something a little bit more specific. Show us an image. Give us the words that would be, a good description for you. Something you've gone through. Is the state of Rhode Island relevant to you? This young lady said that state earlier.
As again. All the time.
Are you from Rhode Island? That's a yes/no answer, please.
Be honest.
I'm trying to be honest. I want to get answers from you. Can you tell us your first name? I'd like to verify who's here, please.
It's like a field report.
Keep going, Olivia. What's it look like?
It's a bunch of grass.
Anything in that grass?
Either a tree or like a path. Breath.
Do we have Dr. Joseph Brown
Family.
Ladd here? Family. Which part of family are we supposed to be discussing?
July.
Is there a word?
Trap.
Anything before that?
Record. Eyes.
Yeah. We get a lot of them. She said eyes. And we get a lot of things about not
44.
seeing things. 40 things.
C. I just got C. So that's a stretch because
Yeah. She just said the exact
Open late.
eyes. And you said C. And there's that open late thing again.
He was looking for a bar.
I know, right?
Cash.
Yep.
Is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd here with us? I know your house is nearby. Do we have a doctor in the house?
Say
Coming through pretty weak. We only got about a minute left. Whoever's here, last chance to give us a message.
forever.
Last chance. Was it anything?
One.
So Dr. Ladd or Henry Timrod, whoever's here, we're about to say goodnight. Can you say goodnight back
Not
to us?
paid.
Can you say goodnight back to us? We're going to end this. We're all going to go home.
Rain.
Okay, Olivia, still nothing?
No.
Well,
Take her.
I got the K, but that's it.
Okay. I think we're going to call it. Have a good night,
Motto?
Mr. Timrod. Go ahead and tap her on the leg for me. Olivia, go ahead and take off your headgear.
Stop
All right.
recording.
Hey.
Yes, you can stop recording.